Come on, get them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why are you up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zerrikania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen...
Hi everyone and welcome to Thronebreaker The Witcher Tales. So, this is an RPG with exploration elements and Gwent combat mechanics, released today on the PC, which is October the 23rd. Now, this is its own separate game. You don't need to know anything about Witcher, for example. And I haven't really played Gwent too much. You don't really need to know anything about that either. The game will explain things along the way. So, let's jump into it, shall we? I'm quite looking forward to this. Now, there are 3 difficulty levels: Adventurer, Battle-Hardened, and Bonebreaker. I'm not really too familiar with Gwent. I mean, obviously I played Witcher 3, but I didn't play the actual Gwent game too much. So let's go with Battle-Hardened. I assume that's equivalent of normal difficulty. Sure. For players seeking a moderate challenge and an impactful story. Let's go with that.
The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Neve, Queen of the Twin Realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? As the Queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Neve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
Hail, Your Majesty! Delighted to see you in good health. The summit, it ended fruitfully, I hope?
Yes, at its end letters were exchanged, documents signed. Paper. Time will tell of what value. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt sheer longing prompted you to ride out.
Indeed, Your Grace. Another circumstance inspired me to do so. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence. The situation's gotten out of hand, I fear.
Okay, settle down.
Steady, Caldwell. Come now. Deep breath. All right, speak. What has happened? Be precise.
As Your Grace ordained, I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Lokeren. We waited for nightfall to surprise them as they slept. Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had snuck away, rounded our positions and ridden to Hawksburn.
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors. That is where they station.
So the gold? All of it?
It's stolen, Your Grace, but I shall do all in my power to recover it. This I vow.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Your Grace's wish.
After weeks in the saddle, Your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. Yet, They shall have to wait. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the rooms, dust off the porcelain. Make certain they do it. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
Welcome to Thronebreaker tutorial. Before embarking on your adventure, you should get acquainted with the basic game mechanics. You can control your character using the left mouse button, follow the cobblestone road. Okay, didn't get to read all of that. So, right here. You will expand your army throughout the game, but to do so you must collect the following types of resources: gold, wood, and recruits. Okay. While on the road, you can find useful items and even new companions who will support you in battle. If you don't want to miss anything, be sure to thoroughly explore the map and complete side quests. Alright then.
Oh, thought it were bandits riding.
Miller's Bend. We got something over here. Yeah, there we go. Some resources. And let's have a chat.
Look, they stretched her over a fire till she told them where she buried her gold.
Okay.
Rather die than tell him she would. But I know where she kept it. Sit tight, sketch it out for you.
Congratulations, you found the treasure map. Search the area and you may just find the secret location marked on the map with an X. Okay, so right here, apparently. Well then, I assume that's going to be further to the east. Before we go there, let's take a look around some more. So what is this all about? Save point or something? Okay, more people, soldiers, whatever. Some resources. And more resources. I think that's that. And what about this fella? Can't talk with him. More resources. Alright, so where's that treasure? Let's take a look around. Not up here. An obstacle blocks your path. To remove it, you will need to spend some of your resources. Your Majesty, it seems someone's felled an old oak, which now blocks the road. Unfortunately, our wagons cannot go around it. How do you wish to proceed? Have the laggards sort the matter. Our soldiers should conserve their strength. And issue axes to the soldiers and put them to work. Here. So what about that treasure? Looks like it should be here. Seems like it. Here, there it is. Congratulations, you've discovered a card that can be used in the Gwent multiplayer card game. Yeah, alright. Can't say I care about that part too much. So, what about this place down here? We can't go there, can we? Nope. Alright then, so, let's continue north, shall we? Yes, let's. Anything we can pick up? Nope. Most interactive objects are marked clearly on your map, but not all. Some events cannot be predicted, so you'd best be prepared for anything.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Meve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
Okay then. Meve was convinced the bandits would flee to the cover of the forest upon realizing their grave mistake. After all, no ordinary bandit would dare attack the retinue of a queen. Yet the strays of Spala were a different breed. they held nothing sacred. Alright, story battle, custom deck. A key battle in Miv's story. Unique cards may appear in your hand or deck. Unique cards will appear in this battle. Alright then. This is the battlefield. You will play your cards on the bottom half and your opponent will play on the top. Right, I know the basic mechanics, but let's go through all of it. Because I assume some people will not know even the basics of how Gwent works. Units can be played on one of the two rows, melee or ranged. But remember, the abilities of some cards may be different depending on the row you play them. A standard battle can last up to 3 rounds. The first to win 2 rounds wins the whole match. Players alternate their turns. During your turn, you can play only one card, but you can use any number of abilities. The player who goes first in a match is the same who initiated the battle. In this case, you encounter an ambush, so your opponent will have the first turn.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your
So, Stray Slinger.
To attack the Queen? An outrage!
Deploy. Move 1 unit to the row opposite. Okay, I didn't get a chance to read all of that. The strength of each unit you play adds to your army's total strength. The player whose army has the most strength points at the end of a round will win the battle. Right here. So he has 3 points because he played that card. Some units have armor. Armor absorbs a certain amount of damage dealt to the unit.
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead to begin the attack.
Most cards have an ability of some kind. To learn more about it, select the card and read its short description. Additional information will appear if you right-click on the card. Alright then, so now we can play a card. Let's say this guy, Loyal, boosts self by 5. Deploy, damage an enemy by the number of cards on this row. So better if we keep that for later. Deploy, play a copy of each adjacent unit from your deck. Alright then, so let's play this guy then.
My spirits salt of the
Here you go.
earth, they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
Scythemen have the Loyal ability. This means that their other abilities are activated every time you use Miv's ability. Each leader has its own unique ability. To learn what it is, just select the leader. Miv's ability allows her to boost a unit's strength and add armor to it. She can use this ability once every few turns. Alright then. So she's right here. Boost an ally by 4 and give it 1 armor. So we can use it like so.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
You cannot make any more moves. It's time to end your turn.
We'll catch them all!
Stray's Cavalry. Whenever an enemy takes damage, boosts self by 1. Alright, and this guy? Move 1 unit to the row opposite this unit and... yeah, that text is blocking part of the description. And damage them by 1, I guess. Alright, so we got the Arbalest and we got Count Caldwell. So damage an enemy by the number of cards on this row. Play a copy of each adjacent unit from your deck. Let's play this guy.
What? Who dares?
So then we'll get another Scytheman. Count Caldwell's ability allows him to summon from the deck copies of the cards that are adjacent to him. His ability is activated the moment he is played.
There's a tighter read.
So like that, we are up to 33 now. I mean, obviously this is a tutorial, it's not meant to be hard.
We are bombarded.
Your opponent's cards also have abilities. Be sure to read their descriptions carefully and adapt your strategy accordingly. Alright then. Move 1 unit to the row opposite this unit and damage them by 1. Right, that's the Slinger. Same as before. We only got 1 card now, so I guess we'll play that one. Damage an enemy by the number of cards on this row. So we can play that in the front. There are 2 cards in the front. And then we can do some damage.
Yes! Our victory is assured! Sound the horns! May they sing praises of this triumph for ages!
When you have played all your cards, the end turn button will turn into a pass button. When you pass, you will not be able to perform any actions until the start of your next round. To end the last turn of a round, press the coin button. The player whose army has the most strength points at the end of a round will win the round. In the event of a tie, both players will receive a victory point.
The battle's not yet done.
So there's the point.
Conserve our strength. Prepare for a strike that will prove decisive.
At the beginning of the second and third rounds, each player draws 3 cards from the deck.
Battle formation! Protect the queen!
The player who won the previous round will play first in the next round. Alright then. So, Sightman.
Aye.
And then we can go with our ballist.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Okay, we got knocked back. Does the slinger again. So that will do. Oh, I can't actually target that guy. Right, because we got reach 2. Which means he will be too far away. Let's play in the front then. And then we can target him. It won't be a whole lot of damage, but it's better than 0.
The chase is on!
Cavalry. Alright then. So we can kill the slinger, or we can attack the cavalry. Let's kill the slinger. Here, down he goes. And we can use our leader's ability. So that's that. We got 25.
Thing about slings.
You've won 2 rounds in a row, which means you are the battle's victor. Congratulations.
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace.
Yes, go us.
Not a chance.
That was clearly hard. There we go.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Meve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained, avoiding his liege's wrathful gaze.
Enough, Caldwell. We must put things right. Come!
The Queen's retinue set out, cavalry in front, infantry and arbalists close behind, and, following in the rear, the bandits, bound in chains.
Alright then. Let's move on then. Yeah, that's the battlefield. They did not have a good time, clearly.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve.
To survey your army, you must first pitch camp. Pitch camp by pressing the tent button on the left side of the screen, right here. Camp buildings allow you to expand your army and give you access to important information. Most camp buildings can be improved by your workshop. These improvements will give you access to stronger units, thus easing your journey down the line. Alright then, so enter the workshop. Oh yeah, right here. You can check your main objectives and official correspondence here. So here you can improve and build camp buildings. To improve your camp buildings, you must first collect the appropriate quantity of gold and wood. For your journey, you will definitely need access to a regional map. But to get it, you will first need to improve your royal tent. So, here it is. That will cost us 1000 gold and 50 wood. Thanks to this improvement, you now have access to the regional map, which you can open from the main game screen. The workshop itself can also be improved. With each subsequent improvement, you will gain access to new, stronger units. Alright, so command tent. In the command tent, you can create units and build your army from available cards. Improving this building will increase your army's recruit cap, allowing you to use stronger units. The cards currently in your deck are displayed on the left-hand side. So right here. All cards available for you to create and place in your deck are displayed on the main screen. You can gain access to new cards by upgrading your training grounds and workshop, as well as through certain story-related tasks. Grayed out cards are available but have not yet been created. You must first create them before you can include them in your deck. Alright then. Your deck must contain a minimum of 25 cards while not exceeding your army's recruit cap. Currently, your recruit cap sits at 125 points. So right here. To create new cards, you need a particular resource, recruits. You can gain recruits at conscription posts, which are marked on the map with a helmet icon, as well as through certain story-related tasks. You've received additional resources to craft a Wagenborg card. Craft one now. So right here. Machine field support. Order: damage all units on an enemy row by this unit's armor amount, then lose all armor. Gain 1 armor whenever a card appears on this row. Interesting. Alright, so we can make one of these. That will cost us 250 gold, 2 recruits and 50 wood. Sounds good. And there it is. Now we can add it to our deck. Here. So now we got 2 of those. You can now view and create new cards or return to the main game screen to continue your journey. Alright, so... Are there any cards here that we don't have yet? At all? Permanent Resilience. When Myth uses her ability, reduce her cooldown by 1. Order: move to the other row. Okay. Resilience. Status that allows a card to remain on the board at round end, then restores it to base power if boosted. Okay. The amount of turns before an order ability can be reused. And order, an ability triggered manually by the player. Units with order cannot be used for 1 turn after being placed on the battlefield, whereas artifacts can be used immediately. Okay. So what else do we have here? Fortitude Tonic, boost a unit by 10. Give 1 charge to units with depleted order. Play a copy of each adjacent... Right, we got this guy. What do we not have? War Wagon? Spawn 2 light infantry on the right. Spawn, add a card to the game. Yeah, that seems decent. Arbalest, we got those. Scythemen, we also got those. Regiment Drummer, yeah, we got several. We got that as well. Pikeman, yep, we got that. Field Medic, yep, we got Field Medics. Okay. So, how about we make the banner? We don't have one, do we? No, we don't. Actually, yeah, we do, up here. Alright, so we got all of these. At least 1 of each. Alright. You can now take a look at your other camp buildings to familiarize yourself with their functions. Or you can return to the main game screen to continue your journey. So that's the Royal Tent. Yes, we know all that already. Letters. Reports. Okay, maps. Right, that's the treasure or whatever. Keys and card fragments. Then we got the mess tent. You can talk with your companions in the mess tent. Give them a little bit of your time and you may just learn a secret or 2. Alright, so let's have a chat.
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
At ease, Reynard. At ease.
Willem is not suited to be king. It's not worrisome sitting alone.
Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone? Wouldn't you prefer another's company? Swapping tales with the innkeep, even?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace. But I prefer silence.
Has it always been thus with you? Ever a man apart?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I gloried in company, delighted in conversation.
So what was it that changed you?
Life.
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to be your departed husband's aide?
I don't, but would gladly hear it.
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start, not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant, nor did I deserve it. To earn that respect became my driving aim, and to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched, that he failed to think through, and yet elsewhere he'd blundered like a schoolboy.
For Reginald to err wasn't unheard of. Doomed to end badly, that I dared say.
Talk of that nature could only ever result in misfortune.
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse-majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. I was guilty of treason, and the noose awaited me. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, my voice cracking, I did as he ordained. Reginald listened, raptly and silently, and when I'd finished, he declared I was right. He then appointed me his personal aide. A clever lad like you, I can always use at my side.
Well, that took an unexpected turn.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognised and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a fool. Secondly, never to betray his trust.
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meave, save Reynard. The old sod was right about that, at least. I thank you for sharing that tale, Reynard. Truly.
Okay, Willem is not suited to be king.
Alas. I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king, let alone a good one.
A harsh judgment, Your Grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age. Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits roam and loot unchecked.
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances, events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that either.
Alright then, I must go.
Time I attended to
My
all
people
matters.
need me. So, Grey Rider. Current map, total time spent, quests completed, puzzles completed, standard battles won, golden chest found. Alright then. So, back to the camp. Let's see. We got the workshop, we already know that. Training grounds. Okay. Command tent. Right, this is where we can get upgrades. If we can afford them. Watchtower. Use scouts to mark the location of treasure and resources on your regional map. Send 150 gold to 120 wood. Training grounds. Gain 1 recruit after every battle won. Okay, sounds like we should maybe get that early. Enables you to create new support units at the command tent. Okay. That would also be nice. But we can't afford that right now. Let's maybe grab that watchtower. Or Herald's Study. Actually, we can't get that, we need training grounds first. Okay, never mind then. Let's grab that watchtower then. Here. Done. And that's pretty much all we can do. So, I think we're mostly done here. There's not much else we can do. Alright. Remember that you can open your map by clicking on compass rose icon on the left side of the screen. Yep, right here. Your primary task is marked with an exclamation point. To see what awaits you next, scroll through the map. We can also zoom out, so here's our main quest. Golden chest. Current location. Yeah, that's the one we already picked up. Scouts, 50. We could send scouts. 50 gold doesn't seem like a big deal, to be honest. There we go. Well, that is quite a bit of loot. We can grab all of that on the way. And who's this?
Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less?
Oh, you'll be fine.
Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why, I'd have gone round, through Sodden. They told me, Lyria's a wild land, lawless, chaotic, a damn
Yeah, you
disgrace.
talk too much, sorry. The army's morale can change. Neutral morale has no impact on your cards, whereas low morale lowers each unit's strength by 1 point, and high morale increases it by 1 point. The army's current level of morale is displayed by an icon in the upper left corner of the screen. So, right here. I assume that's neutral. Changes in morale depend on your choices throughout the game. To increase it, make an offering at a wayside shrine. But remember, after victorious battles, morale returns to neutral. So you must always keep an eye on it. Alright then. So, there we go. High morale. So that's going to be +1.
Gods of mercy. Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood scent.
For such
Sounds
vile
fun.
monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm. I won't allow it. Attack!
Yes, attack. Alright then. Who are these travelers whose bodies now litter the roadside? They had the look of pilgrims who found misfortune after crossing paths with the strays of Spala. The bandits had slit their throats, leaving the bodies to rot under the sun. They'd likely have known the stench would attract the attention of flesh-hungry scavengers, thus exposing the next passers-by to a horrific death. Clearly, this realization hadn't bothered them in the slightest. Custom deck. A trophy is a unique type of card, and you can have only one in your deck at a time. The trophy will automatically appear on the battlefield at the beginning of the match. So, right here, Lyrian banner.
The heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord. And great caution we must exercise.
Your rows are now covered in fog, which is just one of several row effects you will encounter. Row effects affect all cards on a given row and can have either positive or negative consequences. Later on, you will also gain access to cards that allow you to add similar row effects. Alright then.
What is this? Some
Death
spectre?
Wish. Summon a copy of this unit from your
I
deck.
can't be sure, your grace. It's the first I've...
Alright then. Order. Destroy the highest enemy, then boost all allies by that unit's power. Okay, that sounds pretty rough, actually. But okay. Well then. Let's play the Scytheman, and that's pretty much it.
These carrion eaters.
Consume a unit in your graveyard and boost self by its power.
Those of my sheep that fell, harmless at first, until that is, they fill their guts. Seem to become quite powerful then.
Use Fortitude Tonic to boost the strength of one of your units. But won't the leader use his special ability then? Well, if you say so, we can do that. Here you go. What can possibly go wrong?
Fierce fearsome they look, true. But they bleed just as we do. Onward!
If you say
Slay
so.
the filth.
Alright then, -2. Well, we only got one left, so I guess that's going to be it.
Give me a target.
Kill the goal, because we can actually do that. And I guess that's it. We won the first round.
We routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
The leader didn't use the ability. I assume he's still going to do that. Most certainly. The trophy will stay on the battlefield between rounds because it has a resilience ability. Yup. Okay then, so let's get started.
Listen to me, old lady.
Here's the goal.
Your Grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
Oh, you'll be fine. This will obviously not kill it, but it will do some damage. So where's the leader ability? Is he not going to use it?
Strong as steers they've grown.
Consume a unit
And
in
they show
any
no fear.
graveyard and boost self by its power. Yeah, in any graveyard,
They
so
lose all
also
instinct to
ours.
survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses.
Yeah, there it is. Just like me, each leader has a unique ability. Using its ability, the enemy leader destroyed your strongest unit and threw it to its necrophages as feed, which has made them much stronger.
My queen, there is no shame in ceding the field when fortunes turn sour.
Yep, he has 28. If a round isn't going your way, it might be best to pass your turn and save your strength for the next round. But remember, you can pass only at the beginning of your turn, before you have played any cards or used any abilities. Alright then, so we can pass. That's going to be 1-1. We got some new cards now. Remember, losing just one round does not mean defeat. To win the battle, you must gain 2 victory points.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat.
We won't, don't worry, it's fine.
Attack!
So, deploy. Give 1 charge to all units with depleted order.
Yet another abomination.
Ugh, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
To successfully command your army, you should understand the synergies that exist between your cards. To get things started, play Wagenborg on the melee row. The ability of this card becomes more powerful with each additional unit that is played on the same row after it. Alright then. Right here. Order. Damage all units on an enemy row by this unit's armor amount, then lose all armor. Whenever a card appears on this row, gain 1 armor. Right, yeah, that is pretty nice. Cards that have the order ability can be activated manually at any time you choose during your turn, but only after enough time has passed, since placing it on the battlefield. The icon at the bottom of the card will indicate when the ability is available to use. During your turn, you can activate any number of cards that have the order ability. Most can only be used once, but the order ability of some cards can be activated multiple times in a battle. Alright, so that's basically our turn done. Consume a unit in any graveyard and boost. Right, we've seen that before. So now we can play an arbalist in the melee row. And we can actually hit something. And then we can use the Wagenborg ability. So that will do 1 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, damage all units on an enemy row by this unit's armor amount. So it will do 1 damage. Doesn't really matter which one we hit. So that's that. We can also still use our leader's ability. Reynard's ability allows you to reactivate units whose order ability has already been used. Yeah, I see where this is going. As a result, we can use the Wagenborg ability again. So play him in this row.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
And then we can use that again. So that will do 1 damage to that row. Alright then. So we could use the leader ability. I mean, sure. Keep the Wagenborg alive. That's 31 to 13. Consume a unit in your graveyard. Yup. Your opponent has run out of cards and you have a sizable advantage. Your victory is assured, so you can either pass your turn or play out your glorious triumph to the very end. Damn right, we will do that. There, pass.
The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
Victory! Alright then. So, let's pick up the loot. A little bit of wood. And a letter. My beloved, please write as soon as you reach the temple. I know only 2 weeks have passed, but my heart weighs heavy with thoughts of you. Our home feels empty without you. I hope our offering, though modest, will please the Mother Goddess. With her blessing, we shall have a child at long last. I have no doubt you'll make as loving a father as husband. Please be vigilant and return to me soon. And that's going to be the end of this episode. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, or a dislike if you didn't. And subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.